Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we'll be talking about Warner Bros. And how terribly they've managed all their gaming studios. So just to start it off, I want to talk about the recent studio closures that Warner Bros. Had, including Player First Games, Warner Bros. Games San Diego, and Monolith Productions. So first, I want to talk about Monolith Productions, and it's a studio that probably many of you know. And by shutting down Monolith Productions, that means the Wonder Woman game that they've been working on has also been canceled. Now, the Nemesis system that was patented by Warner Bros. Was created by Monolith Productions, but it's still under Warner Bros. And they have this patent until August of 2036, and they have completely no plans of using it anytime soon probably. So even if someone wanted to create something like this, they would still have to pay a fee to use this patent that's owned by Warner Bros. And I believe the Wonder Woman game wasn't even planning to use the Nemesis system in the traditional sense. I mean, it was going to be used more like a companion system, which I think sounds completely stupid. The Nemesis system was known for enemies remembering you and everything that you've done during your gameplay. So I don't know why they would just completely do the opposite of it and make it as a companion system. From what I've heard as well, the Wonder Woman game was also in a development hell. I think it was supposed to be another live service game, and then they completely pivoted from that idea. Now next, I want to shortly talk about Warner Bros. Games San Diego. And I believe this was a support studio for Warner Bros., but also focused on mobile games. Now we know Multiverses is shutting down May 30th of this year, and it makes a little sense why they would be shutting down Player First Games. But what doesn't make sense to me is, why would Warner Bros. Acquire Player First Games around, I believe it was 8 months ago, if they were just gonna buy them and shut them down later? That's just one of the poor decisions made by Warner Bros. Recently. This also shows that the people in charge overseeing all of the studios, not exactly the CEO of the studios, but the person they put in charge to approve everything that was being done by these studios, it shows how they were completely out of touch with what the fans wanted and how to even manage all these gaming studios. And some other decisions that led to this complete downfall that I want to talk about for these Warner Bros. Studios was chasing the live service bag. So as we know, Gotham Knights was one of the first terrible decisions made by Warner Bros. Making a live service game when this concept could have been more interesting as a single player focused game, and more similarly to the other Batman Arkham games with a heavy lore focus. I think that would have helped the game sell way more copies. And I'm surprised that with how Gotham Knights performed, or I mean how many sales it had, I'm surprised that Warner Bros. Montreal wasn't one of the studios shut down. The biggest mistake that I would have to say Warner Bros. Did was forcing Rocksteady to make a live service game with Kill the Justice League, which no one completely asked for. Now, Kill the Justice League game was released, and the only reason for that was to coincide with the movie that they made. But how do you ask arguably your best studio, known for its single player games with the Arkham games, to make a live service and think that they would completely knock it out of the park? Like, they have to, I think they had to be smoking something crazy at Warner Bros. Something else that I just found out as well was that they canceled a Flash game because it had a bad rep due to the actor in the main movie. And honestly, I have no comment for this one. It's actually unbelievable how dumb this decision is, because why would you correlate the game with the actual actor in the movie? I think whether or not the movie did good or bad, the game would have sold very well. And finally, out of all the live service games, the one that shouldn't have been canceled was Multiverses, in my opinion. Multiverses shouldn't have been taken down during the beta when it had all the momentum it needed, and it should have kept the same fighting speed during the beta. And some changes to the monetization itself, I think, were pretty dumb. The monetization, I would say, was one of the main reasons why this game failed. Warner Bros. Were too greedy and could care less about the player experience, to be honest. Some of these examples are just like allowing players to use all the characters when they come out, or like at the very least let us use the characters in training, which were still locked. And I don't know, that's honestly blows my mind. It made completely no sense for characters to be locked in training, and it prevented players from knowing if they would like a specific character until they were unlocked. And the problem is, if you unlock that character and didn't like them, you essentially wasted your time grinding to get that character. Overpricing the currency and the skins in the game was also another problem. And finally, to add, a lot of highly requested characters were not added to the game, and the game didn't have enough content even when shut down and brought back. So how did they expect this game to keep running if they couldn't even give proper fan service to it? Honestly, the potential that this game had was insanely wild, with the different content and characters that could have been added throughout its lifespan. Like the amount of IP that Warner Bros. Has, ranging from Cartoon Network Park, Harry Potter, DC, Mortal Kombat, etc. is absurd. So them not taking advantage of this is probably one of the biggest fumbles I've ever seen, besides their Nemesis system not being used. If they really wanted to, they could have just looked at what other studios were doing. For example, Marvel Rivals. Just put the players first, and with making them happy, they'll continue enjoying your game. They'll come back. It's actually so simple. Literally the same model could have been implemented into multiverses, it would have been thriving right now. But with Warner Bros, of course, they had to mess that up. Okay, now enough of the multiverses rant. Looking into the future of Warner Bros, their future is at the best looking dull, to be honest, and focusing in on what brings them the easy money, to be honest. Warner Bros. Learned their lesson with making live service games with Rocksteady, and instead they're making another Batman single player experience. With NetherRealm, it seems like they're going to continue what they do best and just make more Mortal Kombat games. With Warner Bros. Montreal, it's not 100% sure what they'll do next, but let's hope that Warner Bros. Live service ambitions are over and they don't force them to make another one. Avalanche Software will most likely make a second Hogwarts Legacy with the success that the first one had, and supposedly a director's cut for the first game might come out this year. One concerning thing is that after the release of Hogwarts Legacy, they stated that it should have been a live service game. Like what? How out of touch do you have to be? Fingers crossed that they don't mess this up and ruin the next Hogwarts Legacy game that does come out, because honestly, if the next one does bad as a live service game, they might even shut down Avalanche Software. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Finally, TT Games are probably going to end up releasing another Lego game like they always do. And with that, those are most of the big studios that haven't been shut down under Warner Bros. That I know of. And ultimately, Warner Bros. Fell into the trap that many other companies did, and that was chasing the live service bag, which is one of my gripes with modern gaming. And like I mentioned before, live service can be done correctly like with Marvel Rivals, but companies prefer to squeeze every single dollar out of the consumer instead of actually providing a good game. If Warner Bros. Really wanted to succeed and avoid the headache, they could have literally just lent their IPs to other studios and actually make amazing games with passion. Like, why do you think Disney's IPs like Star Wars and Marvel have games made by other studios? Because if they were made by studios under Disney, they know they would be completely dog water. It's as simple as that. But all in all, what do you guys think? Will Warner Bros. Continue to do poorly gaming wise, or can they come back from this? Leave some comments down below and let me know. And sorry for the rant, I just had to, like many other YouTubers, talk about this situation, and it honestly pisses me off how Warner Bros. Could actually do these things, especially to Monolith Studios. But thanks for watching the video until the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you guys in another MobCola video. Peace out.